Do you want to promote your business on Zambia Blog Talk Radio? Yes, that's right. Live on Zambia Blog Talk Radio. To book your spot, just make a donation by picking from the following categories. To get started, just call or WhatsApp the number on the screen and you'll be good to go. Live on Zambia Blog Talk Radio every Saturday for 1 full month. And it will stay on the recorded shows.
Amazing God, oh, you always come through for me. Amazing God, you always come through for me. Amazing God, oh, you always come through for me. Amazing God, you always come through for me. Amazing God, oh, you always come through for me. Amazing God, mind-blowing testimonies, jaw-dropping miracles you do. You always come through for me. Amazing God, what man calls impossible is possible with you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. It is Saturday, 31st December, 2022. It is the last day, the last week, the last weekend, the last everything of this year. So we're so glad that you joined us today. And in our 14 years of doing this show, this has never happened before, where the last day, you know what I'm trying to say, the last Saturday falls on the 31st and everything else. So we're excited about this show, and I hope you're excited too to join me. What we are going to do today is I asked a few friends across the world, if you want, to just tell us and share with us some of the outstanding things that stood out for them, that basically just were boom, if you know what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to play some videos. I've got some people joining us live from Zambia, from UK, within the United States here where I am, and everything else, and we shall get started. Okay, I am by myself, but I'm not by myself. I've got a lot of friends that are going to join us, and it's exciting. If you wish to be following us so that you don't miss any show that comes up, you need to follow us and like us on YouTube, ZBTR TV. Okay, I think we need to get started here and get this thing going, all right? Are you all ready? Let's do it. Let's go to Lusaka, Zambia. Hi, ladies. Yep.
Hi.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to know, what did you do for Christmas?
We ate. We cooked and we ate.
Rice, chicken, and coleslaw.
And Fanta.
And coleslaw.
Okay,
Christmas the Zambian way.
Christmas the Zambian way. I miss that. That's the best. Nothing beats that. Nkoko na rice, Steph.
Na Fanta. You can go Fanta.
No matter what ZCBC, that's where we used to buy in Coco. Yeah, don't tell me about ShopRite. ShopRite to me doesn't exist. Okay, let's get this going. So let me begin with Chola. I want you to tell us or share with us 2 outstanding things for you in the year 22. And you're going to give a reason why. Huh?
Is this personal or has it got to do?
It doesn't matter. It can be political, personal, family, business, school, fiance.
So whatever Chola will say, I agree with her. So I'll contribute. Yeah. So you want to start thinking? We've already discussed.
We had a whole meeting.
Yes.
To discuss
about
this.
What?
About what we're going to tell you.
The significant things
that we did as my responsibility.
Oh, so you want to do the... Okay, that's fine. Let me leave it to you. Go.
Yeah. I felt you were being a bully, but here we go. No, we're used to being bullied by you, so
okay. Family, that's the way we roll. That's the way we go. So I'm waiting to hear this.
Okay, so I think our biggest and most significant, we can't say achievement, but we'll say realization.
Yep.
As my responsibility this year was that in everything we were doing, we were finding hurdles because of the increasing levels of drug and alcohol abuse among especially young men. I don't know if you're following, there are a lot of suicides, a lot of school dropouts, and these are also among young men. So this has led us to, I mean, we've done a lot of events around young men, different professions, different people have come in and spoken. But one of the things that we have realized at the end of 2022 is we need to narrow it down to their careers and then interventions around drug and alcohol abuse.
Okay.
So going into 2023, we've identified partners who will help us with,
the campaign.
With campaigns, yes, we're coming up with a national campaign, and we're hoping to get different partners on board. So 2023 is really about us finding ways of helping addicts and abusers and those who haven't even started. I mean, alcohol and drug abuse is men, women, teenagers, but we are targeting the youth.
Now, let me ask you this. Are we as a nation in denial about this issue?
I think when it comes to the nation, I think there's actually a policy on drug and alcohol abuse that we haven't probably been practicing. Because I remember growing up, I think you also remember that you couldn't just enter a bar unless you were 18 years old, and you'd actually be asked. But now you actually see
that. So I remember being chased out of the tavern, Palapa section 2, 3.
Sorry, sound traumatized.
We were chased out of the tavern so many times.
But now you actually see 5-year-olds going to buy alcohol for their parent, and nobody questions that. So there is a policy, but the policy is not being implemented. So I think what we're trying to do is actually bring in stakeholders who are really like DEC, like even the police, who are the people who are supposed to implement this policy, and see how we can now repackage the message that's in the policy and start echoing it.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so what's the second thing?
Wow, are you ready? So the second one, we can't go into details, but as my responsibility, I mean, we're very passionate about Zambia. We love all things Zambian. We want people to feel more patriotic and excited about Zambia, but we've never been political. And one of us is not me. One of us.
One of us, not me, right?
Not me. One of us is going to make an announcement soon. She's not particularly leaving us. She's our chairperson and the founder. So she will soon be making an announcement, and this will take her into a space where she will actively get into politics.
Okay.
I will remain and work with the drug and alcohol abuse campaigns and strategies and everything else that my Zambia responsibility does. But she will be taking a leap of faith. And I think you're smiling like that because I think you suspected this.
No, I can see anything. I'm always
your face
smiling.
Is giving away a lot.
Everywhere I go, they tell me, why are you always smiling? You know, they're saying, always smile, you don't get old quickly. So I'm going to stay young forever.
But your smile is giving away something.
Wow.
So yes.
That's
so
amazing.
I think so we really push people to get more involved in what's happening in Zambia. We push people to vote. We encourage people to experience Zambia in different ways. But if you're not in certain spaces, you don't have the power to move things. Hint, hint. So in a week or two, Ms. Chisoma might will announce something.
I will address the nation.
I need to change my friends, Vanessa. You see the people I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
Please send me a ticket.
I mean, Nathan, you followed us from the beginning. And I think you know that our agenda, especially my passion about changing the trajectory of things in the nation, and how much we've actually not just spoken, but we've actually acted what we've spoken. And having done all the things that we've done, we've seen that we cannot I can't sit on the sidelines and just be talking from outside, and things are not changing. So hence the decision to say, okay, let me go just in the battlefront and face this thing.
Okay, interesting.
Yes.
Well, we are honored that the announcement has been made on ZBTR on this last show.
The first announcement.
I know. We're honored. We're honored. Well, ladies, thank you for joining us on this last day of the show. Like I said in my introductory remarks, everybody, these are some of the special people that have supported, that stand with us and believe in what we do at ZBTR. I look forward to being kept posted about that announcement day.
Yes, I will give you some leakage if if you keep in touch. We'll give you the leakage.
All right. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you. So those were two highlights. That's
all
my
right. Thank you so much. I appreciate this. I'm looking forward to a great 2023.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, that's the ladies from My Zambia, My Responsibility. You heard it for yourself. And let's go to, I don't know whether it's New York or New Jersey. Good morning. Good morning. You're on mute. I can't hear you.
On mute. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you? Good to see you.
Good to
on
see
this
you.
last day. Last Saturday.
It's the last day of 2022. I can't believe what happened.
Imagine, Yareka, this has never happened before. In our 14 years of doing the show, we've never had a Saturday 4 on a day like this one. Okay.
Yes.
So this is amazing. This is amazing. So everybody, you know, Yareka is so many things. She wears a lot of hats. So I don't know from which angle she's going to come from. She's part of this team actually.
Absolutely.
And so Anyahango,
yes.
What were the 2 significant things that stand out for you in 2022? I know you can tell me 10, 15. I just want 2. 2. Just 2.
Sure. I think the first item is, or the first thing I observed in 2022 is just everyone prioritizing their, mental health, focusing on how, they can survive post-pandemic, and how they can adjust to the new world. And so even us at Anakazi, we started looking at how can we support young people around mental health issues. And we have been hearing about substance use disorder, diseases. We've been hearing about just, suicides, and, young people not having an outlet or having providers that are there for them to listen to them.
That is crucial.
So we identified the need to have more providers around mental health as a priority.
Okay.
And we actually, because I work for a substance use and mental health organization here in New York. It's been around for about 55 years.
Wow.
So I reached out to some of my colleagues who are counselors and, just mental health providers, and they jumped on it. I said, can we find a way of talking to young people in Zambia? And they were very excited about it. So we had our first seminar with UNZA, School of Social Work. So we reached out to their dean, I think, their dean at the School of Social Work. And the young people organized an event, a seminar. And then we had providers from this end start the conversation. So this was our first conversation. And then after that, the CEO from my organization and others in the organization said, hey, we want to help. What else can we do? We want to do more of these seminars. So there's more lined up in 2023. We'll be supporting at least some of the programs at UNZA, unofficially, but at least, providing speakers who can talk to the young people to understand how to work with people with substance use disorder diseases or those who have mental health issues. So we're trying to find a small way that we can contribute in that space.
Excellent.
Because here in New York, the organization is one of the top providers in mental health services as well as substance use.
I mean, Yareka, it's been in existence for 55 years. That's a long time.
Yes, it's a very long time. Yeah.
Oh,
so we have access to, to resources, whether monetary or just otherwise. We can always find ways to help back home. So that's what we're doing. So yeah, it's a priority for all of us, I think, to look in, introspect, and just see, what is it that we need to change about ourselves in this environment. How sensitive should we be to those who are coming to us when they have issues? There's a lot. People want to talk. They don't have anyone to talk to us. So I think just being open to those conversations is a priority. And then the second area that I looked at, that I've seen, being again on the business side, is just so much change around wage inflation and jobs. People just not taking up jobs. Again, it ties up into what I said about mental health. People are prioritizing their mental health, so they're saying, if I was working 80 hours a week, I'm going to do 40, or the bare minimum. If I can get a hybrid schedule, I'll take a hybrid schedule as opposed to a full-time schedule, which becomes obviously difficult for the employer. They have to make adjustments, and then it becomes very costly to hire employees. And again, not just wage inflation, just inflation in general. We're looking at housing. Prices for houses, those who are buying, went up. I've had a home in New Jersey. It took years to even have some equity, but during this time, I saw an increase in equity, which is good for me. And then, of course, there were those who were dumping their stock and dumping their crypto. So they were looking for somewhere to invest, and real estate became a good place to invest, maybe a safe place to invest. So, there was cash around that they could spend, but no, not really a good place to invest. So real estate area. So those are the two main areas. It's just inflation. Even when you go to the grocery store, you're coming out of the store having spent $100 worth of fruits, just fruits. A few things.
It's not the same anymore. It's not the same anymore.
It's right. Very expensive. Everyone coming out of there saying, I just spent $200. I don't even know what I bought. So that's, again, we're feeling that inflation in so many areas. So those are the two areas that I think stood out for me in 2022.
Wow, amazing, Yareka. Thank you so much for sharing those. And I know everybody following and listening, they're like, yeah. Especially the mental health aspect of it. I mean, the things you've touched, they basically affect or hit all of us from different angles, from whichever way that you want to look at it. Happy New Year to you, my sister.
Thank you. Same to you. And Happy New Year, ZBTR.
All right. Next year, we are going to be, is it what, 15, 16? I've even stopped counting.
I know, right? So 2019, it was 10 years, right?
Yes.
Yes. So
we are 15. We're going to do some, we'll try to do something special. Something special.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Have a wonderful New Year.
You too. Take care.
All right. Okay, everybody, we are moving right along on the two things that stood out for you in the year 2022. Now we have this special gentleman joining us from Atlanta, Georgia, Shetty number 5.
In the house.
Hey, Sid, good morning.
Oh, good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Everybody, the leader of leaders is here.
And I'm not, and I don't even have a suit on. I'm supposed to be having a suit on.
Do you ever see me wear suits here? That's why I dressed like this, so that everybody.
Yes, but you still look grand. You still look grand. You see, if you're not going to wear a suit, at least you should look grand.
You look good.
But I have my kids all around, so I had to ask someone to.
Grown. Can you bring them on? Your kiddos
no, they've actually they've been taken outside, and I told them if they come in, people will understand. I understand that I only have a brief moment with you, but if they do decide to come in, I told them they can be free as long as they're not making noise.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
And let me start by saying that I would like to congratulate you. I think it's 14 years, right? 15. With ZBTR.
Yeah, we're going to 15.
Yes, now. I mean, you are. ZBTR is probably one of the top 5 most influential Zambian entities.
Thank you, sir.
And you've been doing this for such a long time. I hope you've received awards for this because your children's children need to see how you broke ground so that the rest of us could live a better life. And when I say better life, I'm talking about stuff like dual citizenship.
One of the first awards came from OZA.
Oh, there you go.
I can even bring it and show it to you.
Bring it if you have time.
I'll bring it up here and show it to everybody.
Oh, wow. I actually remember that. Remember that. Yes. But anyway, you know me, I can talk the whole day. So let me allow you to talk.
I don't mind you and me sitting here talking. It's cool. So tell us the 2 significant things that stood out for you.
Are we talking about 2 significant things as in groundbreakingly nice or groundbreakingly low point?
Whichever.
Okay, first of all, I'm a big follower of international politics. What Russia did in Ukraine, and I have some Russian friends. I mean, look, that was a disaster. You know what I mean? Those are seeds sown for a potential World War III, which we are praying that it does not get to. But at the same time, there've been good seeds in there in that Putin hasn't really succeeded in his objectives in Ukraine, and Ukraine is standing firm as a sovereign country. Whether you're supporting Russia or Ukraine, it's not the point. The point is a sovereign country was attacked, and we're glad that they are resisting and they're doing what they can. So hi. Oh, I'm sorry. The kids are here. Say hi.
No. Don't say sorry. Hey.
All right, guys. I'm online. So
these guys
be
are
quiet.
grown,
Okay.
see?
Just keep your voices low. I'm sorry about that.
Man.
Yes. They've grown. Yes. Is that what you said?
Go. Yeah.
Oh yes, they have grown. They have grown. Okay, yeah. So anyway, I know the viewers are not really expecting that from me, but the significant thing about here in America, Zambians in Atlanta, one significant thing that stands out would obviously be the independence celebration we had in Dallas, for many reasons, not just because it was big, but because it was, I keep using the word groundbreaking in that we had a lot of young Zambians that came and attended, and these are a lot of these Zambians haven't been to Zambia in a long time. And because of that, it got them to get to know us, and it I think it set as precedents for us for greater things and to sprout into other things that we can also do, like supporting projects in Zambia. So this event was very significant to me in many ways than just attendance.
I agree with you because I was there. I mean,
And you know what? Say that again, because I can't hear you much. What did you say?
I said I was there.
Oh, yes, you were there. And another thing about this event is we had so many people, so many pastors and preachers there.
Yeah, you're just taking the words out of my mouth. You see, that's what I wanted to say. Not just about the pastor Siddiq, the diversity, or in what's the English word? The diversity in attendance.
I think that's what I was trying to say. Young, old. No, it was beautiful, and you set this tone, of course. I mean, you always that someone said you're a kingmaker, and I know you know that about yourself. No, but you know that you're a kingmaker, and I think
I'm an encourager. I'm an encourager. I like
a kingmaker in a way, because a lot of us are where we are because you gave us confidence. No, Siddiq, you can look here, Siddiq, you can do this. You can go this, even the very existence of Oza. Who said Siddiq? Anyway, let me not put you on blast, because people may
state secrets now.
Yeah, because some people may say, "Kanshi di muevo."
So those are the two significant things: the Ukraine-Russia war and the Oza event in Dallas on Independence Day. Those are amazing.
Yes, but now, can I just put in something real quick? We were supposed to. A lot of people have been asking, and I just want to use this forum about the yearly donations that Oza gives to many projects in Zambia. We couldn't do it this year, but we're going to do it in January, and we're still going to add that as part of 2022, the exploits that Oza has been able to do, because it's very, very important. Part of our aim is always to support projects in Zambia, which we haven't done December. We're supposed to have done it, but we'll do it January. For all those that have been asking. Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's
good
information.
But those are the two significant things that stand out to me.
Dr. Toko, don't buy into this kingmaker thing. You're gonna get you in trouble. You see now.
I shouldn't buy into what?
Now you see what people are saying online. They're at the kingmaker. Just accept it to another.
But okay, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Let me be an interviewer for 10 seconds.
Okay.
Are you not a kingmaker?
No,
do you think you don't see yourself as that? Look at your the path of your journey. Wouldn't you say that? Or
I told you I'm an encourager. I push people. I motivate people. I'm trying to take after my brother, Dr. Musoma Kasonde, and Dr. Toko here, the ladies that just came off Chisoma, Yareka.
Matilda, let me put it this way. You are probably one of the most influential leaders that the Zambians in the diaspora have ever had, and I don't think you know that. I don't think so. I think you just think you are here to contribute a little to what probably God has for you, or as a Zambian, but you have no idea what you have set forth in here and in Zambia. I'll give you an example. Look at the people that the president Hakainde has been that live here, that he's been appointing. Can you tell me, or can you not tell me, that you've had a lot of influence on those people? Of course, you're going to say no, because you don't want to take credit, and then someone is going to attack you by Nathan Bale. I understand that.
Siddiq, this show about you talking about two things that stood out to you there. Remember when say Uncle Gregory, Matilda, Dr. Toko, stop whatever you're writing. This is supposed to be
okay.
Two things that stood out. It's not about me.
Okay, let's just make a deal.
I appreciate you.
Can we make a deal?
Let's make a deal.
Let's make a deal. Next week, next week, let me interview you. so that we can talk about you as we enter the new year. Let's talk about you. Because when I was thinking about the significant things that happened this year, I started thinking about you too. I'm like, you know what, this man, we've never really appreciated who he has been to us and stuff. And you are probably one of the significant things that have happened to us this year. You attended us also. You attended our event. You've supported. There's, I mean, come on. Let me stop.
I assure you.
But anyway, thank you so much.
I appreciate everything that you have said. I'm just trying to. I appreciate everything you have said.
I understand. Yes. No, and I know you have other people to talk with, but I appreciate that you called me to, that I had to be one of the people that you wanted to hear from. I really do appreciate that. And
do you know why I wanted you to be one of the people to say something here?
Why?
Because you are there for everybody.
Amen.
You don't discriminate. This one is prominent. You are there for everybody, Siddiq.
Amen.
And some of the things that you have done is like, some of the things that you have done, the people you don't even know.
Amen.
It's very important for us to acknowledge that. I appreciate you, my friend. You and I have come a long way. You remember the hour I could do namis?
Yes, I remember.
Hey,
I remember one time because
this is one of the most powerful worship leaders. Iwe tulingira conference iwe.
Yes.
Not here, Oza.
No, not here, Oza.
But where you are going to
what does the Bible say? Not about Oza, but it says that the man was not made for. No. Oza was not made for man. Man was Oza was not made for no. Man was not made for Oza, but Oza was made for man.
For man. All right. See, happy New Year.
No, happy New Year. Thank you so much.
I look forward to explosive things from Oza next year.
Oh, yes, definitely. Remember what we talked about? I won't reveal this.
What did we talk about? We didn't talk
I
about
just said
anything.
No. I won't mention it here, but we talked about big things for next year and the other year.
Do you know what you have done? You have set a bad precedent for Dr. Musoma.
For Dr. Musonda.
And Dr. Musoma, don't even go this route. Don't even. Me and Henry have a lot of things to talk about. Sid, thank you. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Love you, my friend.
I appreciate you for everything you've done, and thank you so much for bringing me up.
Excellent. All right, everybody, that was Siddiq. Now, all right, let me read some comments here from some people. And Lewis, a good friend of mine. We are always chatting on WhatsApp. Good program. I would have liked to talk about first aid. We are seeing this trend of captured videos on victims or casualties of accidents instead of doing basics too. My goodness me. Lewis, I think I need to do a show on this. You and I need to talk. All right, Matilda, thanks for the comments and everything else. Although instead of protecting me, I always assume Siddiq at my kingmaker. Dr. Toko, wow, 14 years is amazing service and commitment. Stay inspirational. Thank you. The evacuation of Zambians from Ukraine, yeah, that was crucial. That was critical. I am a comments here, kingmaker. No, this one I'll read. I will. Maybe your outstanding leadership is one of the best things that happened to us in 2022. Thank you, my dear sister. Natotela. And then we have one here from my Chinsali princess. She says, Vanathan has provided platforms for many Zambians at home and away. We appreciate you. Thank you, Chola. I appreciate you too. You know, you are very special. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to end this with a very special person. He is very special to me, and we're going to talk about some things. It's not just the two things that stood out to him. And I'm gonna save the best for last. I hope that's correct English, Dr. Toko. Is it the last for best or the best for last? Yeah, forever kumufulila na ifeli moni nchito. Okay, I want to play some videos which some friends sent about this, and then I shall end this discussion with like I'm saying, a very special person. I've already mentioned his name, so we're going to let's begin with this one.
Okay, things that stood out for me in 2022, I think they range from sports, politics, religion, and just all walks of life. I think in no particular order, I think the first one is the 17 girls that were rescued in Zambia, in Chalala, that had been kidnapped for months, and nobody knew, the police, or nobody knew. But the fact that they were found in a neighborhood in Lusaka, a busy neighborhood, and nobody had any clue about what was going on, that's just something that blew my mind, because I didn't expect that to happen. 1-2 years, but 17 in one house and nobody knew it or heard anything about it. That one just stood out for me. The other thing that stood out is the Ovedi, Texas, the Robb Elementary School shootings, where May 24th, where the 19 children and 2 teachers were killed in a classroom. That one, I don't know, it affected me so much. I've heard about Columbine, Sandy Hook, and the rest. They never affected me the way this one did, because I don't know whether it's because of the ages of the victims involved, that they were too young, or maybe the way it was mishandled by the police, or maybe just the way it was covered by the media. So this one stood out for me. On a global political stage, the invasion of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, I didn't expect it to go so poorly. I mean, I heard Russia.
Okay, that's Derek. I think he has raised 2 important things. Those kids, or is it young ladies, who were captured and kept in a house within the neighborhood of Lusaka somewhere, and then the Uvalde shooting in Texas. Like he points out, I think that was. I know the age of the kids is something that just captures your heart. Derek, happy anniversary to you and your wife. Amazing stuff. And I pray that the Lord will bless you and keep you and give you many, many, many more years. Okay, let's listen.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching me from. My name is Naslele Kaingu, and I'm the current president for the Zambian Association in Indiana. I'm also the vice president for the Zambian Association Networks of the United States, which is ZANUS. I'd like to thank the Blog Talk Radio for inviting me on this last episode of 2022. And also to congratulate them on their 15 years of running. Thank you so much for the great information. So the 2 episodes, in my opinion, that stood out in 2022, the first one by Vernon Mwanga, who was talking about the Zambian history, his perception or his way of explaining history was outstanding to me. And I wish we could have more people coming on air to talk about how our nation fought to get independence. Also, the second episode is was on actually mental health by Lillian Bolas, where she was talking about how people relate mental health to witchcraft. And I like the fact that she explained that distinction, and also encouraged us to have at least 1 or 2 people that we can be talking to in case we have something going on with our lives. She clearly stated that it is important for us to sometimes share things with people, and that's a way of letting out of, or really detoxing per se. So those were actually the 2 episodes that I thought stood out. Just 2. If I was given a chance to say 8 or 10, I would have done it in an instant, because Blog Talk Radio is doing a wonderful job. Thank you so much for having me. You have a great rest of your evening, your day, your night, wherever you're watching me from. Thank you. Bye for now.
Excellent. Leads in our community. Those are very important things that she has highlighted. I appreciate you very much. She's always there when I call upon her to do whatever we need to do. That's collaboration and working together. Wonderful. One more before I bring on a Zambian legend to speak. A Zambian legend to speak.
Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching us from. This is Winnie Msonda, one of the calls from the Kisaka Talk Show. The good thing that ever happened to me this year was, it was Winnie Msonda Hope Foundation, the 10th anniversary. I've been doing this non-profit organization for 10 years. And this year when I went to Zambia, I am in a KBBK. So it's something that you don't know about me. So the year's been good. Thank you.
Congratulations, Winnie. 10 years taper, no, and for having been given that uniform. Yabuna KBBK. Okay, everybody, we shall end with 3 more videos. But before we do this, we need to speak to this gentleman, amazing gentleman. Dr. Henry Musoma.
Yes, sir.
Is joining us from, is it Fort Worth, Texas?
Fort Worth, Texas. Yes, sir.
Mwashibuke.
When I'm quiet, I'm Mwashibuke and you're cannabis.
I need to warn you in advance. Don't take that route of the Kingmaker stuff people are talking about. Don't go there.
No, sir. No, sir. Not at all.
No, sir. Everybody don't. I can talk to Ms. Dr. Musoma that way. We are what? So how did you spend? I want you to share with the people watching how you spent your Christmas. It's very important. You know the reason I'm asking this.
Yes, sir. Before I do so, I'd like to thank you for inviting Unami Toterasana, because it's special, the work that you do. You know, it reminds me of how we say you can count the number of seeds in an orange, but you can never, ever, ever count the number of oranges in a seed. You know, it's priceless. And I don't say this to butter you up, but to tell you that, you know, the length of time that you spent doing this is pretty remarkable and aspirational. My Nathan.
Thank you.
And I'll say this to the public, I love that you are a people's pastor. You know, you're the kind of person one can just hang out with and just talk about anything. And when I say anything, I mean anything, you know, and so that is a blessing.
Especially Mufulira Wanderers.
Mufulira Wanderers. Never more shadila kumufulira. Yeah, so, yeah.
So you all see why I brought Dr. Musoma here? Okay.
Atikumufira ngo washimisha girlfriend kwetu wasanga bawashina abafwara. So anyway,
avena chinsali katuishi. Wamona no yuwini wafimapo muvemba sister obyo, you know.
Bana Kebi. No. The way I spent my Christmas is, you know, I was away in Zambia visiting my parents, and that will segue into one of the things that I'd like to share that is significant this year. For the first time in over 15 years, I entered Zambia without paying visa fees. And
how come? You're a dual citizen?
No, because they've abolished the fees.
Oh, Americans can't pay.
No. So it was
okay.
Good.
Although I have a different view about that.
Yes, sir. But what I love to see.
I'll keep it to myself.
Please, not now. It was beautiful. And what I wanted to say is to commend the government, because a lot of times you hear policies being proposed, but then the actual implementation doesn't occur in the time frame. But to enter Zambia on the last 3 weeks ago for the first time in over 15 years, and to just be welcomed without paying a fee was monumental. and I commend the sitting government for doing so. How did I spend Christmas? I took my children on a road trip. Last year I was in Zambia as well during the Christmas break, and so was not able to be with them. And so I came back from Zambia on a Sunday evening. My daughter walked up to me and she said, "Daddy, we remember the road trip we've been talking about. Plans Canada and And by Nathan, I looked at my kids and I said to myself, well, Ninaka na kumalwele, but tualayafi. So that's how I just got in the car the next morning, Monday morning, 9 a.m. And I drove 12 hours to St. Louis, Missouri. And by the way, there's no hotel booked at this time. We're booking hotels as we go. So booked the hotel in Missouri, stayed there. And in Zambia, it says it takes a village. So stuff like that helped. So we get into Missouri, and at this point, there's already talk of the blizzard. But I had a resolve that my kids needed to have this experience, and so we did a night in Missouri. The next day, we left for Chicago. We got to Chicago. We spent 2 days in Chicago. And one of the things I love to do when I'm with my kids or myself, actually, as all my kids, I like to go to cathedrals. I like the silence of cathedrals.
Oh, wow.
I know about but there's a beauty in the silence of certain faiths like Catholicism that I cherish. So my kids and I went to St. James Cathedral, and it was just beautiful sitting there in the morning. And my kids, for the first time, touched holy water. Holy water, and they asked me because, I'm more inclined towards charismatic faith. And they said, "Daddy, what's this about?" I said, "It's just the same as anointing oil in the charismatic faith. This is just symbolism." Anyway, so we did Chicago 2 days. Then they said there was a blizzard. We drove to Canada. We went to Birmingham. Sorry, not Birmingham.
Oh, you went into Canada?
Yes, we drove to Cambridge, Canada. So the first leg was 12 hours. The second leg was about 6 hours to Cambridge, Canada. So we drove through Michigan. We stopped at George Washington Carver's Memorial, the peanut scientist. We stopped at the monument to Abraham Lincoln and drove all the way to Canada. Getting to Canada, we spent 2 nights in Canada. This time the blizzard is coming. And one of the things I wanted to share with everyone is there's always an angel somewhere, no matter what your circumstances.
Yes.
There's always an angel. But I want to remind people here, there's always an angel. That in the midst of this travel, I met people, and people that you wouldn't even imagine. You're in the middle of, what perceivably is, country backwards farmland, and you see an old white man who helps you out by telling you need to put anti-gel in your car or else your fluids will freeze, and saves you thousands of dollars worth of repair had he not met that random guy at a gas station. So let's not put people in boxes. The only person that should be in a box is a dead man or woman. They have no choice. But for as long as we're not in a box, I think we should give each other the chance to consider our humanity. So for 12 from Chicago, Cambridge, then from there we drove 2-3 hours into Niagara Falls. And in Niagara Falls, we checked into a hotel. That's when the blizzard hit.
And then the skin is feeling like what now? Like there's a cut.
Uncomfortable. So we spent 2 nights in Niagara. Then the next day we drove from Niagara. We stopped in Batavia to see one of my dear loves. And then from there we went to New York City. And in New York City, we spent 2 nights. And again, the Zambian village came alive, because part of how I was able to even get a wonderful rate for a hotel in New York was through a Zambian connection. So I know a lot of people like to say, for even a Zambia, I think we need to kill those myths. There's some really good people out there, even in our community. We like to say, I'm a Jewish or I'm a Nigerian. I think we need to work on breaking that as much as we can. And so with that, I would, so we left, we stayed in New York 2 nights, beautiful. My kids got to enjoy the city. We went to see the Statue of Liberty. We visited the 9/11 memorial. And then from there, then I drove into Knoxville, Tennessee. But before we went to Knoxville, we stopped in Washington, D.C. I saw my cousins. I have 3 cousins there. I saw them, then connected to Knoxville, then Knoxville back to Texas the next day. So it was about over 45 to 50 hours worth of driving in the last day.
The reason I'm saying I let you say or share that is that there's no bigger sacrifice. You can never be too busy for your children.
Yes,
and you remember you and I having that conversation where I said to you, you have made a very huge deposit. I'm not just speaking to Henry here, I'm speaking to everybody watching. Don't be too busy for your kids, because there's going to be a time when they'll grow up or go beyond a certain age. You'd be trying to do catch up, it will be too late. Don't do that. And you see, I commend you. I was just saying to myself, this guy is very strong. The driving that you have done, looking at the map of America, and I said to myself, wow, it took the grace of God. It took the grace of God. Let's do this. Before we continue, let's play some videos.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll come back and continue our conversation as we try to end this thing. Okay, which one am I supposed to play now? I think we've got 2 more.
Hello, everybody. My name is Reverend Walter Mwambazi. So what are the 2 greatest, most momentous events for the year 2022? Number 1, at a national level, the lifting up of the COVID restrictions. Those really were very restrictive and really caused a lot of pain and hurt for many people. A lot of businesses failed. A lot of individuals passed on. And of course, the worst part is about the passing on of individuals, but also economically, socially, we were greatly affected by it, especially those that are in industry like the tourism and hospitality industry. Those really felt it. So lifting up those restrictions, finally getting people to take masks off, and just basically opening up the market again was such a massive plus. That really gave a big difference when it comes to progress, when it comes to success for people. Businesses were able to get started again, and that's been such a huge plus. Now, the second thing, which for me is very momentous for the year 2022, especially at a personal level, is the audio version of my book. Now, I wrote a book. I'm trying to see if I can get a copy here. I wrote a book called 5 Major Reasons Africa is Poor. That's the book. Oops, daisies. I just picked up a wrong copy. Here it is. 5 Major Reasons Africa is Poor. I know that's appearing backwards. Now, when I wrote this book, I got engaged with a good friend of mine, Chilu Lemba, to do the audiobook. So it's a mini but great milestone in that now the audiobook is out, and it's now available on leading platforms. In fact, it just launched yesterday, which was the 30th of December, and we will be now in the process of marketing it starting next week and making that available en masse on the different platforms. Lots of promotions. So it's sitting on Spotify, Audible, Audiobook, Google Play, every leading script, every leading platform. Over 45 platforms have our book, The 5 Major Reasons Africa is Poor. So I'm very proud of that as a second achievement. And what's interesting is that this coming year, there are lots of opportunities for me as far as speaking engagements are concerned. And this is on the back of the availability of the audiobook besides the ordinary book. So these are the 2 greatest momentous occasions for the year 2022.
Thank you, Dr. Walter. Henry, what do you call it? He speaks about COVID. My goodness, that was something else, right?
Oh, it was amazing. One thing I'd like to say to what he said is, maybe if I was to, I'll change the title of that book a little bit. I don't mean disrespect. I don't believe Africa is poor. Africa is poorly managed. I think words matter. We are not poor. We are poorly managed. We are a very wealthy continent, just poorly managed. Mr. Mwambazi, I love the idea of what you're presenting. but I'd push it a little bit further to say we are a poorly managed continent, not a poor continent, regarding that. And moving to the second thing by Nathan, you asked, that I want to talk about is I want to make it personal.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that has been significant to me in my life is I am recently divorced. And, in our culture, we don't like to talk about difficult or uncomfortable things. But I'd like to invite everybody listening to me to be comfortable with our painful places, or to be comfortable with our difficult places.
Say that again. To be comfortable
with our painful places.
Our painful places.
Life happens to all of us. And one of the reasons why I was highly motivated to take my children on the road trip is, as a parent who's co-parenting, you have to be very strategic in making sure that your kids see that they're a priority. Why do I bring up the idea of divorce? We live in a culture that inflates and all that stuff. And so, Nathan, I'd say to you that I'm a God-fearing, God-loving, a young man who aspired and aspires to do right and to do well, to love well. But in the process of living, life happened. And so in April, one of the most significant things that happened to me, and sorry, Nathan, I'll give two more things.
No, it's okay. It's all right.
The biggest...
you see, like you said to everybody, you and I talk about anything and everything.
Yes,
let's just go for it, because at times, you see, I always like to use this expression. In our conversations, it has come up between you and me. African people, we are a guarded or protected people. You do not talk about certain things in the public arena.
Yes, sir.
These things don't get out of the house. You all remember those expressions when we were growing up?
Yes.
That's why I believe those uncles that molest their nieces need to be locked up.
Amen to that. Amen to that. We're busy screaming, the truth shall set you free on Sunday, and yet we're not delivering the truth Monday through Friday. We live in lies to some extent. But Nathan, when I came back to the United States, so I currently work in Mexico, and I was talking to my son, who is 11, and I looked at him, and at this time I'm living in Mexico, and I'm flying back and forth to come and see my children, and he's crying, and he says, "Daddy, I'm no longer playing soccer because you're not around to kick the ball with. I don't want to play soccer anymore." And by Nathan, I wear a bracelet that's got a Porsche, like the Porsche, the car.
Mm-hmm.
One day I took my son to a Porsche dealership because we both like cars. And he looked at me and he said, "Daddy, one day I'll buy you a Porsche." And ever since that day, I never take this band off. And it's a Porsche band until it breaks or I get a Porsche from my son. So when I heard those words of my son saying, "Batatata mo avapo," that was an instruction to me to say, into a chapo. So I went back to Mexico and I told my boss, I'm not renewing my contract if I can't go back to Texas. And my boss said, "Don't worry, we will pay for your flights. You can move back to Texas." So that's how I moved back. Significant. I was afraid of a corporation, an entity. I assumed it would respond in a certain way. And it surprised me. So what I want to say to all of us here is that organizations are made up of people like you and I. Makes sense. So when we complain about the government, we're complaining about individuals, not this abstract thing that is
there. You go.
And so we are partakers of this dysfunction or function within our country. So my son saying that made me turn around and come back home. The second thing that has happened to me is I found love, and
hold that thought. Let's play another video.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's play another video from your relative. Let's play another video.
Hi guys, this is Nelly from the Isaka Talk Show. Thank you so much for watching us and for tuning in. And thanks for watching Zambia Blog Talk Radio with Pastor Nathan and our dear friend Pastor Radi in Zambia. What did I learn this year? I think this year I learned to value life. Life is short. Whether you live to be 10 years old, you live to be 15 years old, or you live to be 100 years old, it's too short. I lost my grandmother this year, and one thing I remember from her teachings is that we have to value people and appreciate people. So let's start with hope. Where there's life, there's hope. So I leave you with this. In 2023, live hopefully. And if you tried something and did not succeed, try again. Dust yourself up and try it. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Well, I couldn't get what I tried to figure out what she was saying. I couldn't get it. What was she saying?
Keep trying. Life punches. Keep trying. Don't give up. Trying.
Before we go back to your point, what you were about to make, Matilda said, that's be comfortable in our painful places. That is so profound. And Brenda says, this is deep. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome, Brenda.
Yeah, Redgar, this is a good review, Anathan. No, I wanted to do this. Well done, Doc. Mental health decisions. Very serious things. Very serious thing. You see, before Henry continues and winds up here, one of the things that I'm going to be doing coming next year, like you said, Henry, it takes a village. Somebody said to me, not if you have kingship, if you want to I'm joking. Is we're going to be talking about some of the things that Henry has raised and started. Because here's the thing, it's very easy for us to go political, because political, you can easily criticize and speak your little mind. Okay? We do it. Oh, Zambians, Africans, we love that. Oh, this government, this what. That's why when Chisoma said about that announcement, the point that you have made, Henry, is when we are talking about things, it's not these abstract things. You are talking about the people that run those institutions, organizations. So I told her the only way we are going to change the political arena is by the type of players that are in the political arena. Dr. Msoma, those of you who would like to communicate with us, that's our email. If you'd like to suggest some topics, some guests, or you are seeking help about something, you need counseling, you need help, that's our email. Write to us and we'll connect you to people who can help you. I like having conversations about things, just like Dr. Msoma here said. And if you want to talk, I'm available. Let's talk. I can help you. Finish it off, my friend.
Mekela lesa, kupala mfwala inebane, fwadila lesa, wandi, pishen manitan, kwena leso you, chine musuma, kwena leso you, bane, chine musuma. I found love, and there is redemption. You know, I love the scripture that says, God shall restore what the cankerworm has stolen. And we all have some type of spaces in our lives where we're experiencing hemorrhaging, whether it's hemorrhaging of resources, hemorrhaging relationally. And I think you have to be big enough to choose yourself. I think sometimes our culture over promotes selflessness to a fault, whereas we have people in our community working 3 jobs to support people home, and their mental state is not in equilibrium. But buka kachero chero chilanshkta gabalomba wapela. I think we need to engage in healthy giving and healthy living. And so I found a wonderful lady who is helping me. In fact, I shouldn't say we found each other. And in this relationship, I know I'm experiencing what it is to be loved well, and experiencing the freedom that could happen when you engage with people that are whole.
I like the way you use words. You are experiencing how to be loved well.
Yes.
I'm very sensitive. I'm very sensitive with words, and I pick words.
Yes, sir. So I wanted to. I didn't want to use this platform as an announcement, but I wanted to share about this because, you know, and sometimes tulaikaka, sometimes life ilatukaka, and we over spiritualize simple pragmatic things. You know, life just sucks. Not that all things work together for good. You know, sometimes just look at life and say this is crappy. You know,
always running to the Bible.
Yeah, this addiction to suffering. So I wanted to, but Nathan, if you don't mind, I just want to finish with a poem, if that's okay.
Go ahead, my friend.
It's called Sweet Darkness. Thank you so much for having me today. And to the people that are listening, I just pray God's blessings on your lives. I pray that you are honest with yourself in 2023. No resolutions, just honesty with yourself. You know, you know, when your eyes are tired, the world is tired also. When your vision has gone, no part of the world can find you. It's time to go into the dark where the night has eyes to recognize its own. There you can be sure you're not beyond love. Sometimes life is you know, even now spiritual. The dark will be your womb tonight. The night will give you, but Nathan, listen to this part on that. The night will give you a horizon further than you can see. You must learn one thing by Nathan. How many things, Bamda? One thing. The world was made to be free in. So it says then, give up all other worlds except the one to which you belong. We're trying to fit into so many worlds.
Wow.
That we can't even be in the world that we belong. I'm guilty of that. I'm not pointing fingers, but I'm learning. Sometimes it takes darkness and the sweet confinement of your aloneness to learn that anything, anything, I want to say this like a black preacher, in case you're listening and you were falling asleep, I'll say it like a Baptist preacher. Anything or anyone that does not bring you alive is too small for you. Anything or anyone, my friends, that does not bring you alive is too small for you. Stop playing in the sandbox when God has elevated your status or your place. Thanks so much, Bamda.
You couldn't have done it any better, my friend. You couldn't have done it any better. Everybody, Dr. Musoma and I are working on a number of shows to do with, what's the word?
Critical thinking.
Critical thinking. We are taking this thing to another level. I know Zambia Blog Talk Radio, and I appreciate the compliments from everybody, the years that we've been here, the things that we have done, but we are changing the trajectory and the direction we are going to take here. We are going to go to a place where after you listen to this show, beginning next year, you go back and you say to yourself, Fidaya Reka Achilanda, I really need to do something about it. Fidachi Soma Achilanda, I really need to do something about it. Fidamatilda Achilanda, I really need to do something about it. Fida Dr. Tokozile Achilanda, I need to do something about it. That's the direction we are going to go. Fidaba Anko Mwanza Kuyuke Achilanda, I need to do something about it. We talk too much. Now, we're going to take you to a place which is very uncomfortable, but is supposed to make you comfortable. Happy New Year, everybody. You know, I'm very happy for you, my friend.
Utumpundu bana mayo tumpundu. Yeah.
Well, that was our show today. I don't even know what we have done here, Henry. Everything that has happened here. You see, I like it this way. When I had an idea the direction I wanted it to go. However, God had his own way.
Yes, sir.
And I do trust that everybody has been encouraged. Leave this year, 2022, 2022. Leave it here. Just leave it here. Just leave it here. Start afresh, beginning tomorrow. Okay. Thank you, my friend.
You're very welcome, Amdala. It's an honor to be here. Yeah.
And I will be catching up with you very shortly.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Everybody, that was 2022 year in review. And I do believe that thank you for spending the time with us. Thank you for spending the year with us. And we do appreciate everything else. We don't take everybody for granted. Everybody who did videos, special. I appreciate it. You did. I know it takes time to do things and to do stuff. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Happy New Year.
Amazing God, amazing God, oh, you always come through for me. Amazing God, you always come through for me. Amazing God, oh, you always come through for me. Amazing God, you always come through for me. Amazing God, oh, you always come through for me. Amazing God, mind-blowing testimonies, jaw-dropping miracles you do. You always come through for me. Amazing God, what man calls impossible is possible with you.
Zambia Blog Talk Radio,